a global cultural icon who defied a regime with nothing but a pen has officially left us. It is a loss that has reverberated from the highest halls of European government to the streets of Tehran. An artist who managed to turn her own childhood trauma, displacement, and political rebellion into an Oscar-nominated masterpiece has passed away at the age of 56. Her work did not just entertain, it changed how the Western world viewed the Middle East, challenging geopolitical narratives through the simple yet profound medium of graphic novels. Today, we look at the extraordinary, turbulent, and deeply courageous life of a woman who refused the highest honors, stood up for women's liberation, and leaves behind a legacy that will outlive the very regimes she fought against.
Welcome back to Celeb Viral Feed, your ultimate source for verified updates, deep dives, and documented insights into the figures who shape our cultural landscape. If you want to stay informed with accurate, high-quality, and legally verified biographies and industry news, make sure to hit that like button right now, subscribe to Celeb Viral Feed, and turn on notifications so you never miss an episode.
The news of her passing was confirmed through an official statement issued by the Élysée Palace, the official residence of the French president. For a government to directly announce the passing of a comic book artist and filmmaker underscores the immense cultural weight she carried in her adopted homeland of France. In their official communiqué, the Élysée Palace lauded her contributions to the arts, stating that her work captivated a global audience. The presidency further remarked that her passing marks the loss of a leading figure in French culture and an artist deeply committed to freedom, whose work carried a universal message and earned her immense international acclaim. The international artistic and human rights communities have expressed profound sorrow. Among the organizations paying tribute is the Nargis Foundation, a prominent Iranian women's human rights group. In an official statement, the foundation described her as a fearless advocate for feminism, women's rights, and as someone who consistently championed the struggles and resilience of Iranian women. Her passing leaves a significant void in both contemporary literature and international political activism. To understand how she achieved such a status, we must look back at the precise historical events that shaped her early life.
Marjane Satrapi was born into an environment heavily defined by intellectualism and political awareness. Born on November 22, 1969 in Rasht, a city in northern Iran, she grew up within a politically active, leftist family. This upbringing provided her with a critical lens through which she viewed society from a very young age. However, the trajectory of her life, along with those of millions of Iranians, was fundamentally altered in 1979. Satrapi was just 10 years old when a massive popular uprising successfully toppled the Iranian monarchy, leading to the establishment of the Islamic Republic.
The social and legal landscape changed almost immediately, particularly for women and young girls. New state mandates restricted personal freedoms. For the young Satrapi, this transition meant the compulsory wearing of the veil in public spaces, the sudden segregation of schools by gender, separating her from her male childhood friends, and witnessing the adults in her community navigate severe political repressions. Despite the restrictive environment, Satrapi's characteristic rebellious nature remained intact. Years later, she would publicly recount anecdotes from her school.
As Satrapi grew into her teenage years, her outspoken nature and refusal to comply blindly with state mandates began to alarm her parents. Fearing that her rebellious streak would inevitably lead to severe consequences or detention by the ruling regime, her parents made the difficult decision to send her abroad for her own safety. In 1984, at the age of 14, Satrapi was sent to Vienna, Austria. This period of her life was marked by extreme instability and profound cultural isolation. Navigating a foreign country as an unaccompanied minor, she faced severe hardships. Reports and her own autobiographical accounts confirm that at one point during her years in Europe, she experienced homelessness. The physical toll of living on the streets eventually culminated in a severe case of bronchitis that required hospitalization. Seeking stability, Satrapi eventually made the decision to return to Tehran to pursue higher education. She enrolled in university to study art, navigating the strict societal codes of the era. During this time, she was also briefly married. However, finding the political and creative restrictions of the country incompatible with her personal and professional aspirations, she left Iran permanently in 1994, choosing France as her new home. It was in France that Satrapi revolutionized the medium of graphic literature. In the year 2000, she published Persepolis, a blockbuster graphic novel memoir that achieved immediate critical and commercial success worldwide. Written in black and white comic strip format, Persepolis offered a unique, deeply humanized perspective on the Iranian Revolution, documenting monumental historical shifts through the objective, observant eyes of a child. The book dismantled monolithic Western stereotypes about Iran, proving that personal narratives could bridge vast geopolitical divides. The monumental success of the graphic novel quickly caught the attention of the international film industry. In 2007, Persepolis was adapted into an animated feature film, co-directed by Satrapi herself, alongside French filmmaker Vincent Perroneau. The film adaptation was an instant critical triumph. It preserved the stark, expressive black and white aesthetic of the original book while adding a dynamic cinematic layer. The project was presented at the prestigious Cannes Film Festival in 2007, where it won the coveted jury prize. Its critical trajectory continued all the way to Hollywood, earning an Academy Award nomination for Best Animated Feature. While Satrapi is most widely recognized for Persepolis, her artistic portfolio extended far beyond a single work. She authored numerous other graphic novels, though she publicly maintained a preference for the term comic books, and continued to establish herself as a versatile film director. In 2019, she directed Radioactive, a British biographical drama film. The project starred Academy Award nominee Rosamund Pike as the pioneering scientist Marie Curie. The film showcased Satrapi's ability to handle complex historical narratives outside of her personal experience, focusing on the scientific breakthroughs, personal struggles, and societal resistance faced by one of history's most prominent female scientists. Throughout her career, Satrapi remained an uncompromising critic of Iran's ruling establishment. She consistently used her global platform to amplify the voices of those inside the country who were unable to speak freely. Her advocacy became particularly prominent following the events of September 2022, which saw the death of 22-year-old Mahsa Amini while in the custody of Iran's morality police. Amini's death ignited nationwide protests and gave birth to the global Woman Life Freedom movement. Satrapi immediately became a key international figure supporting the movement, utilizing her art and media presence to draw global attention to the systemic struggle of Iranian women fighting for their fundamental human rights. Satrapi's commitment to her principles was not limited to verbal commentary. It extended to direct, high-profile actions that challenged international diplomacy. Just last year, she made headlines by publicly refusing the French Legion of Honor, which stands as France's highest national decoration. Satrapi explicitly stated that her refusal was a direct protest against what she characterized as the French nation's hypocritical attitude towards Iran. By turning down such a prestigious accolade, she demonstrated that her dedication to human rights took absolute precedence over personal or professional validation from world governments. Behind her public persona as a fierce activist and celebrated artist, Satrapi's personal life was marked by deep partnerships and, in her final years, profound personal tragedy. She was married to Matthias Ripa, a Swedish national who played an instrumental role in her professional career. Ripa was not only her life partner, but also a close collaborator, helping to translate Persepolis into English and remaining deeply involved in the production and management of many of her artistic projects. Their partnership was widely recognized within the industry as a true creative alliance. Tragically, Matthias Ripa passed away last year at the age of 52. The loss of her long-term partner and collaborator was a severe blow, occurring just a year before her own passing. Despite these compounding personal and health challenges, Satrapi's influence on literature, cinema, and international human rights advocacy remained completely undiminished. To truly appreciate why Marjane Satrapi's work remains so vital, one must look at how she contextualized the historical evolution of women's rights in the region. But through her writing, she consistently reminded the world that the restrictions faced by modern Iranian women were not ancient traditions, but relatively recent political implementations. Her work documented the exact moment when the veil shifted from a matter of personal choice to a strict legal obligation enforced by the state. By capturing the confusion, humor, and subtle resistance of young girls forced in.
Marjane Satrapi's passing at the age of 56 marks the conclusion of a life defined by displacement, artistic triumph, and unyielding political defiance. From a 10-year-old girl jumping rope with a school veil in Tehran to an internationally acclaimed filmmaker standing before the global press at Cannes, she remained entirely consistent in her messaging. She proved that the pen, the brush, and the cinematic camera are among the most potent tools available in the fight against authoritarianism. Her life demonstrated that while individual lives are finite, the stories we leave behind, especially those rooted in truth, freedom, and human dignity, possess an enduring permanence. Her graphic novels remain staples in academic curricula worldwide. Her films continue to be studied for their unique visual storytelling, and her advocacy continues to inspire the ongoing movements for women's liberation across the globe. Marjane Satrapi's story is a powerful reminder of how one individual's voice can echo across borders and generations. Her artistic contributions and her fearless defense of human rights will undoubtedly continue to influence future generations of artists and activists alike. What is your favorite memory of Persepolis? Or how did her work impact your understanding of history? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. If you found this investigative biography informative and valuable, please support our work by giving this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on all notifications so you never miss our deep dives into the lives of the world's most influential cultural figures. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more verified, high-retention stories right here on Celeb Viral Feed. We will see you in the next video.